Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Patreon podcast. This week, I wanted to talk about ignoring attention seekers. And this kind of spurred from a lot of different things for me. But really, it comes from a memory that I had a long time ago. I was with my buddies in Colorado. We were hanging out, and like somebody drove by with a cool TM car. It was, it's like a fancy car, whatever. And I was like, oh, hey, look at that. And like one of my friends was what was the exact words he said? It was something like, all they're doing with that car is they want people to pay attention to it. So I won't pay attention to it. And, initially I was like, oh, that's kind of a jerk response and stuff. But the more I think about it, the more I can see how this translates to a lot of different things in life, where it's just like, just because somebody spent a lot of money to get your attention doesn't mean that they deserve your attention. And this very specifically comes to me from like YouTube and spam and like advertising in general, where it's just like everybody is yelling at you and trying to get your attention and paying a lot of money to try to get your attention. And I think that there is more value in seeking out what you're trying to find rather than having somebody just kind of walk up and give it to you. If that makes sense. I think that it's so important to find your own solutions a lot of the time, rather than like the algorithm finding it for you, because a lot of the time that can tend to not really solve your problem as much as just have you buy something that somebody else paid for advertising. Like I think my whole point here, I'm sorry, I got very off track. My whole point is to just ignore people that are trying to get your attention, because those people generally offer and add less value to your life than things you find organically or find through a recommendation from a friend. I think that there's so much more value in having those recommendations and finding solutions for yourself more than relying on advertising revenue. And I think for the most part, a lot of you are intelligent people and kind of already knew this, but I think that it's, for the most part, all of you are intelligent people. You're my Patreon subscribers. Sorry, I'm having a weird day. But I think that it's just really important. And when one of the things that I do, this is on YouTube specifically, but one of the things that I do is if I see a channel that all of their YouTube thumbnails are like the big face with like a big like shocked expression and the red arrows and like the you won't believe this and like all of this clickbait stuff, like anything that is tangential to that, I just block that channel. Like I don't want to see anything from those people. And if sometime in the future, like somebody recommends this to me and I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually cool, I can subscribe to them, I can do that, but I don't need people yelling at me to like divert my attention away from something that I feel is important. So that's kind of the most classic example for me, but there's a lot of stuff like on Twitter, any ad, any promoted tweet that comes through, whether it's from somebody that I like care about or not, like I usually just kind of block it. Like I don't want any of that stuff in my life. And like I've thought, and I've even tried advertising before. I grew up in marketing. I've tried doing advertising for my stuff before, but it just feels scummy. I don't like doing it. Because I don't want to be an attention seeker. I want people to find me because of the quality of my work, not because I suckered them into something, based off of, sensationalist, clickbait, anything like that. It's just like, no, I want people to find my stuff through the quality of my work and the work effort that I have. And then if they like it, they'll stick around. And if not, they won't. And that's okay. Granted, this is not the ideal way to build a following or an audience. But I think that best aligns with the values that I hold as an artist. And, you know, to each their own for everybody for this one. I can't say that one way is better than the other. I'm just saying, for me personally, I try to ignore the attention seekers, and I seek out my own solutions for problems that might be that arise in my life. And I don't know. That story has always stuck with me, where my buddy saw that like fancy car and he's like, no, I don't want to give that person my attention. And that is something that really I kind of do on my daily life now too. If I see like a fancy car or some kind of loud motorcycle or whatever out of the corner of my eye, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, dude. Like, you spend a lot of money for that. Good for you. So that's personal. That's like my personal lifestyle, I guess. But, you know, maybe you get some kind of inspiration off of that to maybe tailor your own lifestyle in a similar way. Either way, I didn't really have a point for this one. It's just that story had been bouncing around in my head for like a year, and I just needed to talk about it. So I talked about it, and hopefully it will be exercised from my brain. So thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you so much for being a Patreon subscriber. I genuinely do appreciate it. I hope that you have a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend. And I will see you in the next one. Be remarkable.